Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville is claiming that most Americans won't get any type of Social Security. We're going to be going over what he said on Newsmax. Plus, Donald Trump is the first former U.S. president ever to speak at the Libertarian Convention. We'll be going over what he said and how impactful that could possibly be. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock or $200 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. And if you'd rather just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stock is just sell it for what it's worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our lead story of today's video. And we have some new polling out today from CNN. This came out just recently. And in this polling, there's actually some pretty good news for Trump and bad news for Biden. So according to AL.com, Trump maintains lead over Biden. New poll shows 55% say Trump presidency a success. So we're going to be looking at these numbers here. So overall, 55% of respondents to the poll said they now see Trump's presidency as a success, while 44% see it as a failure. That's compared to 61% who said the Biden presidency has been a failure, and just 39% said it was a success. Among Republicans, 92% define Trump's time in office as a success, compared to just 73% of Democrats who said the same thing about Biden. Among independents, 51% said Trump's presidency was a success, compared to 37% for Biden. Now, the April poll actually showed 40% approved of the way that Biden was handling his job as the president, compared to 60% who disapproved. The harshest figures for Biden came in his handling of the economy, with a 66% disapproval, inflation at 71% disapproval, and the war between Israel and Hamas at a 71% disapproval rate. So not the best news there for Biden. And once again, we have the election coming up, and very, very soon, just 5 to 6 months away. It's going to be here before we know it. And Biden really has to find a way to turn things around quickly, and it's going to be tough for him to really change the opinion of most Americans on the economy at this point in time. Inflation has just been hitting all of us hard over the past few years. So for Biden to really do anything at this point in time is going to be very difficult. Now also, Trump recently spoke at the Libertarian Convention. He is the first former U.S. president to do so. And even though libertarians typically only get like anywhere between 1 to 3% of the vote, 1 to 3% could very well make the difference. So he wants to go here and try to win their vote. And of course, RFK Jr. wants to do the same. Meanwhile, Joe Biden is really nowhere to be seen as far as trying to get the libertarian vote. And he's urging libertarians here, like, at least vote for me. You could vote for someone like Jill Stein, and you may get 1 to 3% of the vote, and Jill Stein has absolutely zero chance at all. You could vote for RFK Jr., and again, even though he might get 10% of the vote, he really has no chance at all. He's saying that, at least if you vote for me instead of Biden, you're going to have more of a libertarian candidate, someone who's very limited in government. So at least make your vote count. And he had sort of a mixed reaction here. Obviously, we're going to be looking at a clip here from Newsmax of how that went. Some people booed him. Some people wanted to urge him to debate RFK Jr., which I think that he should. I think that RFK Jr. definitely deserves to be in a debate with Trump and Biden, that the three should debate. RFK Jr. is definitely getting enough of a vote from Americans to deserve, to be on a platform both with Trump and Biden, but they are both denying that. And well, Trump showed up. Have to give him credit for that, even though he didn't get the best reaction from everyone. Let's go ahead and roll the clip.
So a lot of headlines from his speech tonight, from Trump's speech. Let's get to News Nation's Alina Shirazi on this. Alina, RFK Jr., we saw him taking shots at Trump last night. Did the former president return the favor tonight? Not even a blip on the radar, Natasha. He didn't bring him up. We were expecting for him to return those sort of attacks that we saw on Truth Social. But we did hear him mention a lot of things. We know that at the very beginning, when he first took the stage, he was met with sort of a mixed reaction, right? There were some boos, there were also some cheers. He also took the opportunity to say, vote for me. And he said, maybe endorse me. And in that moment, we heard the most boos that we've ever heard from that Libertarian conference. And every time he brought that up, he said, make your vote count. They would go on and still continue those boos, right? And he was trying to continue that sort of a policy with the Libertarians, that sort of match on policy, bringing up what he's done during his administration to avoid sort of government meddling. But that's really not something that we saw the crowd really enjoy, right? So here is a little part of his speech, some highlights there.
In the last year, I've been indicted by the government on 91 different things. So if I wasn't a libertarian before, I sure as hell am a libertarian now. We cannot give crooked Joe Biden 4 more years. Today's radical left Democrat Party is not a Democrat Party of years ago, which still wanted big government, but at least believed in tolerance and free speech. Joe Biden's radical left Democrat Party is a fascist movement.
And again, that's something to note here. This is the first time that a former president has decided to speak at a libertarian convention like this, as we mentioned earlier. So the fact that he's deciding to speak does say something in and of itself. We know Biden was not here today, so we'll see how this continues to play out and who really does get those votes, but no mention of RFK Jr.
So leave your thoughts and comments below on that. Do you think that Trump is going to win over some of the libertarians with going there and reaching out to that party? Now, meanwhile, we have a U.S. Senator in Tommy Tuberville saying that most Americans aren't even going to get any type of Social Security benefit at all. We're going to be covering over what he said and if there's really any truth to that. So according to AL.com, Tuberville warns that most people won't get Social Security. Here is the latest projection. So Americans have been swindled by Social Security and, quote, most people won't get the benefit, according to Senator Tuberville. He said, quote, no, most people won't get Social Security, Alabama's senior senator, a Republican, told Newsmax TV Carl Higbee Frontline. It's just unfortunate, Tuberville told Higbee, according to the station. It was a tax that was levied on the American people years ago, sold a bill of goods. Hey, we're going to take care of your retirement. Tuberville didn't specify when the benefit would run out, but the Treasury Department's latest Social Security and Medicare Trustees report, released earlier this month, projected the Social Security Trust Fund would be depleted in 2035. Once its funds are depleted, Social Security would be in the position to pay 83% of scheduled benefits, a higher percentage than indicated in previous years. Tuberville has been a longtime critic of Social Security, and at a Senate hearing in February, Tuberville said he paid $1 million into Social Security and receives $3,000 a month from the program. He claimed that he could have $8 to $10 million if he had been able to invest his Social Security taxes privately, but, quote, the federal government wasted his contributions. He said, quote, this is all a scam. I mean, we got people who are ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000 per month. Impossible. With $35 trillion in debt, we don't have any of your money. We're dead broke. And Tuberville envisioned the riots in Washington if lawmakers don't account for the depleted funds. He said, quote, we better start figuring that out because we're going to have a run on the city here soon, and there's going to be about 150 million people coming up here saying, where's our damn money that we paid in, the senator said. So, Tuberville says that eventually Americans aren't going to receive any type of Social Security benefit at all, and that's, it couldn't be further from the truth. There definitely can be a cut in benefits. Again, there's been, estimates of anywhere between 18 to 26% in cuts in benefits by 2033 if lawmakers don't act, which could be, obviously very significant if you're receiving $2,000 per month and we have a 25% cut in benefits. That means that your benefit is going to be reduced by $500. That's obviously extremely significant. So lawmakers must act. And even though the trust fund is going to be depleted, and even though we're $35 trillion in debt, and in 2033 we might be $50 trillion in debt, we're still going to have money coming into the trust fund as long as people are working and as long as people are paying the Social Security FICA tax, the payroll tax that goes into the trust fund. So we're always going to have money coming into the trust fund to pay out to Social Security beneficiaries as long as people are working and paying taxes. It's just like, how many people are we going to have working, and how much taxes are they going to pay in, and how much money are we going to have into the system to pay out in benefits. So even though people may receive a huge chunk, taken out of what they would normally receive for their Social Security benefit, there's still going to be Social Security around. It's just not going to be nearly as much. And even though he's making the case that he could have $10 million right now sitting in his retirement, if he did not have to pay $1 billion in payroll tax, I mean, at least it's helping those who weren't able to save for their retirement throughout the years. And it's pretty much like a lifeline. It's not meant for people like Tuberville, who had very good careers as a college football coach and made millions of dollars during that time, and now are a U.S. senator making lots of money as well. It's for those that really need the money the most. So Social Security is definitely not going to run out of money. They're definitely going to continue paying out benefits. There could be a huge a reduction in benefits by anywhere up to all the way up to 26%. I think they will probably get something done in the end. We'll have to wait and see. More than likely, they are going to kick the can down the road to the final months and, in grand Congress fashion, get something done in the end. But I do think they will. Leave your thoughts and comments below about that. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. And I will see you in the next video.